Afternoon. So now that I've given you an idea as to why Jen was there on a turnout style marriage quest, let me explain to you what their customary marriage practices are. So normally what would happen in her Oma society would be that a big gathering between clans, bands, and tribes would occur, and young men of marriageable age would be introduced to young women of marriageable age, and that is 8 years of age. They don't officially become adults until they have survived 8 years, at which point they are named their adult name, and they are given, the ability to marry, have children, and establish their own family groups. So, and I do have some evidence to back this up, both for Yaren and for the Oma. I have found sites in Central Oregon and here on the West Coast, in the Moore Valley regions, and up in Washington, that all suggest that this is true. So what they do is, the young men will adorn themselves. They will paint their faces, and they will make mock tools or real tools, depending on how old they are and how they present themselves. Because there's also emergency marriages, and I will get into that in another video after this one. So on a normal average, the young men will, present what they can provide. They will show the kinds of tools that they're able to make and the things that they can do in order to provide, daily food. A female will show off their prowess with herbs, able to cure, the young, their ability to find the things that are necessary in order to eat. They also adorn themselves in a special way. The girls will wait in like woven kind of basket structures, and the boys will wait kind of in a half circle. And there will be stories told, there will be music, there will be prayers, there will be song, and there will be, several days of celebration. I got to hear it and witness it on one of the reservations in Washington when I was back up there in the early 2000s, well, 2010-ish, excuse me. So hearing it was very interesting. It happened on the backside of some property I was staying on. And I did go up and take pictures of the event, evidence after it occurred. So when they do that sort of thing, it's more of a introduction. It's kind of, the girls choose the mate. The girls choose which boy they think is going to be their mate. And if they are at age 8, they will marry and go ahead and establish a family. If it's an emergency marriage, younger ones marrying and then being tutored in a family, completely different situation. I'll do that in another video right after this one. So yeah, the girls will choose a mate, then there will be a ceremony. Usually it has to do with a pair of rocks next to each other. There might be a flower presentation. The boy will give the girl a flower, and sometimes they'll set it adrift in water. The boys in the Oma and in Skookum clans and tribes will stomp the ground in a soft spring so that they'll get it to bubble. This signifies the girls' water breaking at their first pregnancy. So the husband is obliged to be there for her to help her deliver. And the stomp with the water break, the spring coming forward, is a signifier that he promises he will run to aid her during the birth. So there is the potential for divorce if he doesn't show up. So keep that in mind. The females of these groups in the cryptid world control the situation. Men are there as a supportive role and a power role. Their husbands and sons will be those that lead during war, but it is the women that make the decisions in times of peace as to how the family group will sustain themselves, what they will do and how they will do it, and where they will go, and who they will trade with and who they will not trade with. It's kind of the situation that Bear Woman is in. She seems to be a matriarch, and she's made some hard decisions about who they can't trade with. And she also seems to be the medicine person, so that's a bonus for her.